Good evening, Greg here, burning both ends, burning on the back end of Wednesday, 11:12 p.m. Pacific. It is the 23rd of January, 2019, and yes, I am rocking a new hat. So this is another hat that my dad gave me, and just to be honest, I have no idea how to wear this hat. It's been a little chillier here in Albany, so we've been rocking some hats. So of course I have the good old Mad Bomber. Where's the Mad Bomber? There's the Mad Bomber. That's my normal hat. Dad got me that one as well. He got me this one. So really like this one. Even though I really don't wear it too much, I have no idea how to wear it. But I've just been rocking it recently. Went into San Francisco with my daughter on Monday for MLK Day. Went to Yerba Buena, awesome little music festival. And so rocked the hat, and she's been, I don't have it with me, but I have a classic knit Yankees hat, hardcore Yankees fan from back in the day, back when they were fighting for last place. It was like the late 80s, early 90s. Remember watching Andy Hawkins pitch a no-hitter, and I was reading up about that one, by the way, his no-hitter, which is not technically a no-hitter. So they were the away team during the game, and they lost 4-0, so they didn't play the latter half of the ninth inning. So he didn't actually get 27 outs. He got 24 outs, but he lost 4-0, and it's an interesting game. So anyway, back to the hat. So yeah, so another hat my dad gave me. So I'll probably start rocking this a little bit. Don't think it goes well with the hoodie, I have to say. A little disappointing, but pretty cool. My daughter loves this hat. It's a little bit too big for her, but she looks really good in the Yankees hat. So she will rock that. I will rock this, and we will now light up a conversation about just starting of the year. We're almost through January already. Can't believe it, and just kind of see how things are going. So just on the 9-to-5 on the side hustle, feeling good about things, feeling powerful, feeling confident, still in the grind with both my 9-to-5 and my side hustle. So the 9-to-5, I'm project managing these two projects, doing a lot of resource management right now, and we're just right kind of in the middle of these large procurements and just a lot of design work, a lot of tasky things, a lot of setting up meetings and following up with people, and just details. Right, we're buying a lot of expensive equipment. And so when you're doing this is just, it's all in the details, it's all in the technical drawings, it's the comments and emails, it's just running down. Like one sentence can just throw the whole thing off. One phrase of one sentence can throw the whole thing off. And then also some of these documents get kind of long, and accidentally, whether it's us or them being the vendor, there can be like a contradiction from like a comment in the beginning to a comment in the end. And so it's just tracking all this stuff down and dotting all these I's, crossing all these T's, because when you execute the procurement and then 12 months goes by and the thing shows up, and you start to put it together, that's when you start to understand that this didn't happen, or they didn't do this, and that's when you start looking at the contract or the drawings and we missed that kind of a thing. It's kind of like insurance. It's like you really don't know how good your coverage is until you're in a car accident. You describe what happened, and then they tell you what they're going to do. It's kind of like that. So anyway, and then the side hustle fundraise up, just going great. Got some really powerful meetings this week and next week, and starting to line up some really exciting potential customers. Really, the pitch is really being honed, and I've been tweeting for the company now, and so we're doing 2 tweets a day, and I'm psyched to kind of get into Twitter and like dig and root around and find out what's going on. There are some conferences coming up, and so I might attend a conference in Philadelphia at the end of March, trying to get some funding for that. But pretty much like what I need some wins, right? So I'm looking at universities, I'm looking at like private educational institutions, because these institutions, especially universities, they raise a ton of money. I mean, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars. And they're very unique because they have, because we're looking for digital donors, right? And so they have this alumni list, and it grows from the younger side. That's a digital donor. So I think it's a good fit. And so got a couple of prospects, and so really, I'm looking for like a win. I'm looking for one of these big universities to say, hey, we'll give it a shot, because I'm very confident that if they give it a shot, they're gonna love it. And then then that'll be a nice win, and then I think we'll be able to roll from there. So the bottom line is like this next 6 months for both the 9 to 5 and the side hustle are gonna be very exciting time. So super psyched about that. And then had my men's team meeting last night. So yeah, it's Wednesday. Tuesday night. And one of the interesting topics is regret. And one of the men of my circle lost his father. His father passed away a week and a half ago or so. And I can't imagine how tough that is. And this man just talking about, I don't know, just what that's like, and that's got to be intense. And I'm a big fan of Gary Vee. He talks about regret. He talks about talking to old people, and seeing the regret in some of them, that things that they wish they would have tried, and now it's just too late to try them. And and so this is like another form of regret. I'm very lucky. I have a really good relationship with my father. Super lucky to have that. Not all men have that. Some men don't even know their father, never met him. Some people have multiple fathers, stepfathers, biological fathers. Interesting how they can play very different roles in a man's life. And so there's this aspect of regret of maybe having a sour relationship, or it starts off wrong, like your father abandons you and then comes back in your life much later, and then now what, right? You're like 15, you're like, well, Dad, you missed it. you missed my upbringing. Things like that. And then how do you move forward from there? Or other things like that, other circumstances that are a lot different than mine, and sort of the sour relationship or a tough relationship, and how as the son, how can the son, being younger and maybe a little bit more agile and able to adapt, how is the son able to kind of just push that relationship into like a, if not a reasonable space, but into like a powerful space, right? And that was kind of some of the topics of discussion is, how does one do that? How does it happen? What's the process like? Because, for example, I know a lot of men that have challenging relationships with their fathers, right? They want their fathers to be proud of them, right? And this is kind of the process as a boy turns into a man and then becomes kind of a father and then an old man, right? When you're young, right? When you're 8 and 10 and 12, it's like, my dad's the best and this is why he's the best, right? And then when you're like 18 to 22, it's kind of like, Dad, I can do it on my own. Stop telling me what to do. I'm going to go out in the world and I'm going to show you, right? And then all of a sudden, now you're old enough and you get married and you have kids, and you're like, and you start to realize what a pain in the butt it is to be a dad. And you're like, wow, Dad, you did a pretty good job. This was tough. And then as you get older and you have your career or your success or whatever it is, then your dad, who's now, I don't know, 60 or 70, starts bragging about his son to his friends. Oh, my son, blah, blah, blah. Look how great he is, that kind of a thing. I'm so proud of my son. And this is kind of the cycle. And this is what, at least in my experience, what every man is looking for is for his father to be proud of him. And every father is looking to be proud of his son. And sometimes it just doesn't always work out. And sometimes just life happens and stuff happens and the relationship doesn't go the way that everyone wants it to, and then it can get stuck and get stuck in that kind of weird period where neither the son or the father wants to take action to move it in a positive direction. And so anyway, this is a long discussion about regret, and the regret of maybe the son not just kind of pushing through some difficulties to repair the relationship with the father, and that kind of regret. And it's really powerful to see a man, I don't know, just just kind of suck it up and do what's difficult, because it's better for the relationship. And so it's just incredible to talk about. It's incredible to see. It's incredible to hear different types of men that have different types of paths in life with their father or fathers, or no father, and how tough that can be, and how, I don't know. This is obviously not something that's learned in school. This is not something that is learned in college. This is only learned in life, and this is why this men's circle is so powerful, because this is the kind of stuff that we hit. This is the kind of stuff that we get into. And so someone like myself, who's had a really positive experience with my father my entire life, it's really fascinating and interesting, and I learn a lot to hear about other men and other relationship styles and other paths in life. It's I don't know, it just brings us all together, even though we have very different backgrounds, and we can all kind of sit in that space together. So and then that got deep, but I don't know, it's important to go there. It really is, I think. And I will close on a randomly weird note here, just to pick it up a little bit. So I've been on the paleo diet all last year. Got off it for the last 2 weeks of the year. I got off it a couple of times in 2018 as well. But there was about a 2-week period at the end of December where I was like, I'm just gonna eat whatever I want, drink some beer, have some wine, that kind of thing. And so I'm back on it, and I've been working on this chocolate dessert. Right, I love chocolate, and I knew that when I got in paleo, it was gonna be tough to have chocolate. So I've been working on, ever since like last year, this chocolate dessert, and of course it's got to be low carb. It's like full of calories and fat, but it's low carb, and so I think I finally honed in on it, and here it is. Just finished it for the evening. It's my little dessert almost every night, and so what it is it's a tablespoon of olive oil. And it's not going to sound that good, but it's absolutely delicious. Tablespoon of olive oil, a quarter cup of walnuts, tablespoon of peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, or I think it's pronounced cacao powder. And I learned that the difference between the two. Cocoa powder is actually like a heated process to create it, whereas cacao is not. And so cacao is much healthier because you don't burn away the antioxidants and a lot of the good stuff in it. Anyway, so 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder or cacao powder, about 3/4 of a teaspoon of this monk fruit sweetener that I get. It's got erythritol in it. It's essentially like sugar alcohols. So it's 0 net carbs, but it's sweet like sugar. Actually, I find it sweeter than sugar. So they say 1-to-1 sugar, but I do like 2/3 or 3/4 to 1. So about 3/4 of a teaspoon. And then I have this awesome salt. It's from France. It's like this gray algae salt or something. It's like really big and chunky and moist. And so like a big pinch of that. And so you get big chunks of salt in there. And then heat that up a little bit and mix that around, and almost like, aside from the walnuts, it becomes kind of homogeneous and chocolatey. But it's like it pours like honey, almost like thin honey. And then I add like 1 teaspoon of heavy cream, and I'm not sure what chemistry goes on, but what this does, it lightens it up a tiny bit, but what it does is it thickens it up like crazy. It turns it from like almost like a motor oil type of a consistency to I want to say like a Greek yogurt kind of consistency, and and that heavy cream just gives it that kind of cream. It adds a little bit of cream flavor to the chocolate, and it just makes it incredible. At least I think it is. And I've noticed that being on paleo, my like kind of sweet sensitivity is way down. So like I can't really have sweet things. So this is not very sweet, but to me it tastes great. And so that's it. And so and so I can either eat it warm right after I cook it, or heat it up. Really, it's not really cooking. It's not very warm at all. Well, it's not very hot. It's warm. Or I'll just put it in a cup, throw it in the fridge, and then have it in like an hour or two. And it's kind of like just like a cool chocolatey, crunchy thing with the walnuts. And so it's about with those measurements about 430 calories. I think it's like 96% of the calories come from fat. It's only about 4 net carbs, maybe 4 to 5 net carbs, and it's delightful. And then so at night I'll have it like that. If I have it during the day, because it's also like a good like to go kind of like, that's like a whole lunch. Instead of olive oil, I'll put a tablespoon and a half of the MCT oil, the medium chain triglyceride derived from coconut oil. And that's fantastic because then you get kind of the shot of energy, which is great. So yeah, and then just to wrap up the post, so I'm not going to be posting on YouTube nearly as much. I'm really want to focus in on what's going on with the side hustle with the 9 to 5. But I'm going to start experimenting with Instagram. I had started an Instagram account a while ago. I never did much of anything with it. Somehow I have like 20 followers, which is kind of an interesting component, I think, to Instagram, that you can have 0 posts yet have followers. Just kind of an interesting space. But I was listening to Gary Vee, and I love his content, and so he's like, even if you just hit Instagram videos once a day for like a minute, he's like, that's something, document. And so I'm going to try doing that. Unfortunately, my phone, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of cracked. Can you see the cracks? Yeah, there you go. And so right where that, like the button is that you have to hold down to make the video, unfortunately, because of the cracked phone, even if I keep my thumb there's my thumb, it just, because of the crackness, it like disengages the button and it messes up the video. So I can't really record like a video on my phone with Instagram. So got my tablet, which is around here somewhere, so I'm going to try using that. I'm going to try doing very short form, just very off the cuff Instagram videos on a regular basis, and maybe do the YouTube long form just a couple, like maybe twice a week. I'm not really sure yet. I just know that, well, I love doing these posts. It's just a big time commitment, relatively speaking, right? I'm realizing that for some reason I'm getting squeezed with time. The kids are going to bed later. I've got some more commitments in the morning that take me away from the work, which is all good. This is all good stuff, but it's just I'm realizing that my time for fundraise up and the side hustle is getting squeezed a bit, and so it takes me about a half an hour to post this. So now this is like going to be a 20-minute post, but maybe I can cut them down. But still, it's a 20 to 25-minute activity that a lot of times I'd rather just kind of push through and finish up, fundraise up stuff, or if I'm doing extra work for my 9 to 5, that kind of a thing. So anyway, so that's what's going on. Hope you dig the hat. Maybe I'll try upgrading the hoodie to match the hat, because I do like the hat. The hat's nice. You can kind of see it's got this really beautiful feather, peacock feather, and something else there. And maybe I can learn how to wear it. I don't know if I should be putting like a little side thing on it or what have you, but like the hat. So thanks, Dad. Appreciate it. And with that, this channel is all about my journey as an aspiring entrepreneur. Things I'm trying, things I'm tasting, things I'm doing, things I'm not doing, I guess. And yeah, that's it. So subscribe if you like what you hear. Comment down below. I'd love to hear feedback. Tell me how to wear the hat. Tell me if it looks stupid. I don't think it looks stupid. I think it looks all right. Maybe suggest some other clothes to wear with it that would look better. If you need any help with anything, please let me know in the comments. I will do my best to help you out. And that's about it. The beat in the background, G Money, is my alter ego. I write these beats there on SoundCloud. Check them out if you like that kind of thing. And we will stop there. So get some sleep tonight. I'm looking forward to it myself. Wake up tomorrow, light it up, crush it, do great things, be kind, inspire folks. And I will catch you later.